AI is not sci-fi anymore, right? It's here, and it's moving so fast it can make your head spin. So the big question is, what's coming next? Like, in the very near future? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down. We're going to map out the next 5 years of AI and figure out what's really going to change.
All right, if you want a sense of just how fast this is all happening, get this number in your head, 9 out of 10. That's right, 9 out of 10 leading businesses are already pouring money into AI. This isn't some trend that's on the horizon, it's happening right now. It's the groundwork for everything we're about to talk about.
So, here's our game plan for figuring this all out. First, we'll get a handle on what AI is doing today. Then, we'll look at how it's shaking up different industries. After that, we're jumping into the future, the next 5 years. We'll also have to talk about the challenges, the tough stuff. And we'll wrap up by asking, okay, so what does all this mean for us?
Okay, let's keep things off with Section 1, AI today. And really, we can stop thinking about science fiction. This stuff has jumped right off the big screen and landed straight into the palm of your hand, in your smartphone. You know, the real star of the show right now is something called generative AI. And a great way to think about it is like a linguistic chameleon. Seriously, it's scanned just about everything, the whole internet, countless books, endless art, and it's learned the patterns. So now it can use what it's learned to create something totally new, perfectly matching whatever style or information you ask for.
So, how does this magic trick actually work? Well, it's basically a 3-step process. First, it just absorbs a mind-boggling amount of data. Think of it like drinking from a fire hose of information. Then comes the clever part. It starts spotting patterns and connections, kind of like it's learning the secret grammar of how things work. And finally, it uses that new grammar to generate brand new content. That could be an email, a bit of code, or even a jaw-dropping piece of art.
Okay, so we've got the how. Now let's get to the what. What is AI actually doing out there in the real world? That brings us to our next section, how it's reshaping our industries right now. And its impact is, wow, it's everywhere. Take healthcare. AI is being used for predictive diagnostics. It can spot diseases in scans, sometimes even more accurately than a human expert. Over in finance, it's like a silent watchdog, sniffing out fraud on your credit card in the blink of an eye. And even in the creative world, it's not replacing artists, but it's becoming this incredible new paintbrush, helping them dream up and create things we've never seen before.
And look, this stuff isn't just for doctors and bankers. It's totally woven into our everyday lives. You know that cloud storage you use? AI's in the background, making it run smoothly. The software on your phone that just seems to know what you want? That's AI. The robots that build our cars and pack our boxes? More efficient because of AI. Oh, and every single time Netflix or Spotify recommends something you actually like? Yep, you guessed it. That's AI at work.
All right, so we've covered the here and now, but let's get to the really exciting part. Let's look into the crystal ball. Section 3, the next 5 years. Where is all this technology actually going?
This timeline gives us a pretty amazing roadmap. So in year 1, expect to see hyper-personalization. I mean, everything tailored just for you. By year 2, we'll probably see AI co-pilots become common in most jobs. Think of a lawyer or a programmer having an AI partner. But the real game changer? That might hit around year 3, with AI that can innovate on its own. Then it moves into the mainstream for scientific research, and by year 5, we're looking at a world of deep, seamless collaboration between us and AI.
So, the single biggest shift you need to wrap your head around is this. We're moving from AI being a helpful assistant to being an autonomous partner. It's the difference between using a calculator for some quick math and handing over your entire financial plan to an AI to manage. It's a massive, fundamental change in how we're going to get things done.
But, this incredible sounding future, it's not all smooth sailing. It comes with some really big questions. And that brings us to our next section, navigating the challenges. Because we absolutely have to balance all this progress with a huge dose of responsibility.
And this slide really gets to the heart of the whole debate, doesn't it? On one hand, you have this unbelievable promise. AI could help us tackle huge problems like climate change, find cures for diseases, and just unleash human creativity. But on the other side of the coin, you have the perils, and they're just as real. Things like job displacement, massive privacy concerns, and the very scary risk that we build our own biases right into the code that's going to run our future.
So to get to the good stuff, we have to clear these hurdles first. I mean, how do we make sure AI is fair and that we can actually understand why it makes the decisions it does? How do we stop it from being used for bad things? And what about the economy? How do we help people adjust as jobs change? These aren't easy questions, and they're the ones that keep the experts up at night.
Now, and all of this brings us to our final section, our AI-powered future. We've looked at the tech, the good, the bad. So what's the bottom line? What does it all actually mean for you and me?
You know, this quote here really nails it. The best way to predict the future is to invent it. The thing is, this AI future isn't some wave that's just going to wash over us. It's something we're building, brick by brick, right now. And AI? Well, it's probably the most powerful toolkit we've ever been given to do that inventing.
So if there's one thing to take away from all of this, it's this. The next 5 years aren't just about fancier tech or faster computers. The real story is going to be about us. It's about how we, as a society, decide to weave this incredibly powerful tool into our lives, our jobs, and our communities in a way that's smart, thoughtful, and, frankly, ethical. So, I'll leave you with this one final question to chew on. As AI gets better and better at doing all the analytical stuff, all the repetitive tasks, what's left for us? What's the one human skill that you think will become more valuable than ever? Creativity? Empathy? Critical thinking? It's something we're all going to have to figure out.